I tell everyone who wants to be a successful cloud engineer, cloud architect, you still have to know networking. You still have to know basic security. You have to know, I mean, it's all the basics. Like I tell everybody, go back, get your Linux, get your CCNA or your Network Plus, get your Security Plus. You want to go down the path of learning to prevent attacks, get your Certified Ethical Hacker. I don't care what you do. Even if you don't want to certify, go take a class in this stuff.
Welcome to part 2 of this series where we're talking with the host of the Big Bald Azure Guy. We are talking about everything cloud. Now in part 1, link down in the description below, we talked about what is the cloud and how you can benefit from it. In this video, we are talking about everything you need to know when it comes to training, the different resources out there, and the skills you really need to focus on to become a successful cloud engineer. So stay tuned because we're talking about all of that after this. When you decide, hey, I want to get into the cloud, should you like try to focus on a certain cloud provider, and how do you decide which one to focus on? Or is there something else you recommend for people looking to start in the cloud infrastructure?
I have a 3-step process. I call it engage, enhance, enforce. First, you're going to engage. Do your research real quick. See who you want to do. If it's Microsoft, go with Azure. If it's Amazon, go with AWS. Find a quick video about it on YouTube. Read a quick article on a Medium blog. Just Google it. I mean, I say Google, but I mean, that's what we all do nowadays. You're going to go out there and you're going to Google it and find a quick 10-minute video as to what the cloud is, what Microsoft Azure is. I don't care where you start. If you like that, then you're going to enhance those skills. So you're going to move on and say, you know what, I think this might be a career move for me. I'm going to look at one of the fundamentals exams that are out there. For Azure, it's the AZ900, the Azure Fundamentals. You've got your AWS Cloud Practitioner. And then for Google, I forget which one it's called, but they've got a very similar fundamentals one as well. And so to me, then you start going down the path of, and all three of them offer free training for the fundamentals. Microsoft has Microsoft Learn. AWS has their learning library. You can go on there. Now you can also go out there and purchase subscriptions to places like Pluralsight, A Cloud Guru, Cloud Academy, INE. And you know, they're all reasonably priced. You're probably going to pay $30 to $50 a month, depending on what you want. And the cool thing with those first exams is they're completely non-technical. They want you to go out there and learn what the cloud is, what certain components are used for. In Azure, you've got compute, which includes virtual machines. You've got storage accounts. You've got basic networking. What kinds of storage accounts are out there? They want you just to get an idea of what the vocabulary is, how it works, what pieces interact with other ones. But there is zero technical responsibility for any of these exams. It's just learning the lingo and how these things apply. And that's a great first step because mostly, like the Azure one, for example, the first 18900 certification exam, I think they give you an hour and a half for it. It's 40 or 50 questions. I finished mine in 10 and a half minutes. I also speed read for a living. So, I mean, I can read 1,000 pages a week for fun. That's how fast I read. But, and I got, I think I was max, I got a 980 out of 1,000. I missed one question probably because I went too fast or I hit skip. Funny story. My son was live streaming an event last night on his YouTube channel. And I logged on to help out for a little bit. And I typically go so fast, I have a tendency to hit the wrong buttons, and I hit end stream while he was streaming a football game. So always make sure. Yeah, he was a little salty to say the least, but it's you got to slow down during these exams. But like I said, it's once you pass your first round of fundamental exams, then it's up to you where you want to go. Azure, you've got the AZ104 administrator exam. You've got the Solutions Architect Associate for AWS and a similar one for GCP. And I recommend everybody who wants to pursue a career in cloud gets to that level at least. Get to the administrator level, which is considered like your junior to mid-range. And then the sky opens up, man. You want to specialize in networking. You want to specialize in security, DevOps, development. There's so many different avenues that you can do. I mean, the opportunities are endless. Me personally, I started off as a DevOps guy, and now I am whole hog into security. I love zero trust. I love multi-factor authentication and working with third-party partners on how to make security more robust at each location. And that's kind of what I do at my job now as a principal cloud architect.
So at heart, I am a networking guy. I've lived networking. I've done networking since high school. For those of people who are really diehard networking people, what does the cloud have to offer for them?
The exact same thing you've got now as an on-prem network guy. There is no differentiation. It's simply where the hardware is located. I tell everyone who wants to be a successful cloud engineer, cloud architect, you still have to know networking. You still have to know basic security. You have to know, I mean, it's all the basics. Like I tell everybody, go back, get your Linux, get your CCNA or your Network Plus, get your Security Plus. You want to go down the path of learning to prevent attacks, get your Certified Ethical Hacker. I don't care what you do. Even if you don't want to certify, go take a class in this stuff. Learn those skills. I mean, we all know that certifications can be expensive. Some of us happen to be very lucky where your companies will pay for 100% of the stuff, and that's great. But I've been in positions in the past where I was 100% on my own. And so you know what? You do what you can. You take advantage of free trials from companies like Pluralsight or Cloud Academy when you can. You study nonstop for a month. Wait till the next free trial pops up again in a couple months. You don't need to be rich to do this. You don't need to be brilliant. You don't need to be hard-headed. It's just having a plan. And to everybody who says, well, how does my on-prem skilling relate to the cloud? It's exactly the same. You're just doing things in a different location. You might not be there physically plugging in the switches, but you're still doing all the programming. You're still doing all the coding. You're still doing all of the actual network traces. You're still doing all the what is it? Is it Live Shark? What am I thinking about here? Wireshark. Thank you. You're still doing all the Wireshark traces. You're still tracing packets from beginning to end, seeing where the hangups are. Every cloud platform has its own networking troubleshooting tools already built in. It's just a matter of learning what those are. Who would have thought that Cisco would be so all in to scripting and DevNet stuff like they are now? I mean, Cisco has really taken the whole networking as code thing to heart. And you've got a whole brand new slew of certifications on people who can do Cisco networking as code. And so to me, you may have to add a few skills to your belt to really be an awesome cloud network guy. But there's no reason people who have on-prem skills can't move into the cloud now with an established company, and maybe they need a little hand-holding for the first month or two. After that, you're going to be well on your way. There's no reason at all why you can't get skilled up rapidly based on your already current skill set.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I kind of transitions me into my next question. So people who are interested in the cloud but already are in a profession, is it, a lot of people think it's just either you work in security or you work in the cloud. Within the cloud infrastructure, is there different job roles, or is it just you work in the cloud? How does that work from your experience?
It depends on the company. Like my company itself, I'm a principal cloud architect. I specialize, my wheelhouse has been networking, DevOps, and security for years. I've got friends who simply do DevOps. That's all they do. You will probably be hired into a certain department that only does security. So they deal with things like Azure Sentinel, or they deal with SIEMs and SOARs. They deal with, if they're in networking, they could be brought into an infrastructure department where they deal with building out Azure landing zones. If you're a governance person, you like doing identity and access management, maybe you start looking into infrastructure as code and policy as code. The role types are pretty much standardized. You've got engineers, admins, architects. Architects are seen as the cream of the crop. But there's still junior architects, there's still senior architects, there's still principal architects. I mean, there's a whole balance and rigmarole you have to go through to see. To me, titles don't mean anything. It's what you like working on. If you like what you do, it's never a bad day. I mean, yeah, you're going to have the occasional bad hour, bad day, bad week because you've had a really troublesome client or you've had a problem with the infrastructure. Look at the Log4j exploit that came out a few months ago. How much did that set people back? They had terrible weeks getting that thing fixed. But then you can look back and say, I actually learned a lot of stuff doing that. And you can look back at some of those bad times and say, what, it really wasn't as bad as I thought. It's all what you put in and what you get out of it too.
Absolutely. And those situations, as much as you probably hate them in the moment, they are wonderful learning opportunities and just to develop your skill sets that much further. To be honest, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Stuff happens. But it's how you handle those situations and learn and develop your skills from that is really what, sets you apart from everyone. Yeah. So, and I think we kind of talked about this briefly, but I want to really kind of get a more concrete answer for those for those of you who are looking to start in the field, maybe don't have almost any experience, but they want to be in the cloud, where do you start? Like, what do you do to say, okay, I'm making a career change, I want to work in cloud, it really interests me. What's next?
So what kind of like first role you're talking about?
Yeah.
Honestly, your best bet is probably help desk. Those of us who've done help desk, we don't always look fondly back on it, but you think about it, how much I worked help desk for 2 years when I first started out. I cannot believe how much my skill set grew in those first, and we're talking back in the NT 3.51 days, but how much did your skill set grow in 2 years? How much did it even grow in the first 6 months? The smaller companies are great because you're going to be probably one or two people on staff responsible for a lot of things, from printers to all the local hardware. And then also, if you're doing cloud work like Office 365 or you're using Google Workspaces, you'll be troubleshooting that kind of stuff. And then it's just a natural transition to say, okay, I'm not working just on-prem. I'm worrying about setting up a landing zone for my company in the cloud. So they're going to have storage accounts. I've got to worry about identity and access management. I've got to worry about permissions. I've got to worry about role-based access control. Every little thing that you do adds. Like, I have a friend who was looking to come on board with us. He's right there. He's got tons of on-prem security experience, 20 years. Doesn't quite have just enough security experience to join us, but he's going through a Microsoft E5 migration for Microsoft 365 in the next 6 weeks. And we told him, look, man, finish the migration, you're set. You're going to be in. It's just a matter of saying, you know what, you have to have that little bit of experience. And it may not seem like much, but once you've been through your first migration, once you've been through your first batch of importing users into the cloud, and you can even do things similar. Say you're a Citrix guy or a VMware guy or gal. I want to see more women in tech. We'll talk about that one next. I really want to see that.
Absolutely.
But the other thing is, say you're a VDI person. Why not look at Azure Virtual Desktop? There's a certification just for that. AVD is easy to scale. It's easy to have failover. It's fully fault tolerant and disaster recoverable. I mean, look at what dovetails from your current responsibilities into what you like. Who says if you're a help desk manager, why can't you look into something like Microsoft's, I forget what the Azure Security Center. Start looking at getting alert groups set up to alert people when there's problems in Azure. I mean, and I talk Azure because I'm an Azure guy, but I mean, like I said, I do know all cloud is the same. It's just different brands, different names. For DNS, you've got Azure DNS. For AWS, it's Route 53. They do the exact same thing. They're just branded differently. So once you learn one, the concepts are all the same. Implementation's a little different, but that's it.
Well, and I can talk to that personally, because on the networking side. So as I said, I am a Cisco fanboy to the extreme. I went to Cisco Meraki headquarters and took special courses from Cisco. I don't think I have it behind me anymore, but I have trophies from Cisco from being so involved in like their community forums and stuff. And then I went from only knowing Cisco, and I landed a job as working in a NOC that doesn't have one piece of Cisco equipment, completely Adtran and Juniper, 100%. And that was a shock for me because I had no experience. I didn't know a single command in the CLI, but I was able to do it because at the heart, networking is networking. And you just have to figure out the little differences between the different platforms. So it shouldn't scare you. And you can just make a big switch like that. And I like that you said help desk, because that was my experience. I did 2 years as an IT support specialist, and I was actually part of a G Suite to Office 365 migration. And I learned so much because that was a tough. None of us on our team, we were a team of 3, and none of us had any experience doing that. So we were making it up as we went, and we learned so many different things during that. And I was able to put that on my resume, and that really did help actually land future jobs, having that migration experience. And that help desk really just helps mold you gives you an insight to all the different technologies a lot of times, because sometimes you'll have an idea when you get on the help desk that you want to work in security. And then all of a sudden you'll find out
you have a real love for networking, or you have a love for the cloud, or whatever, working that help desk as an entry level position will really give you that experience with all the different technologies out there.
The other way that people can really start building experience too, when you're going through the process of training or scaling up, I encourage people to do three things: get your LinkedIn profile up there and updated, create a GitHub profile, and create a blog site of some kind. We all know that graphic artists do online portfolios. Authors do online writing workshops or writing bookshelves they can leave things on. Think of GitHub and think of LinkedIn and think of your blog as your online portfolio. Say you're going through a hard tutorial on AWS or GCP or whatever, or Azure, and you really want to demonstrate that you've learned this stuff. Even if you failed in the attempt, document your experience. Take some screenshots, write down what you did, having trouble figuring it out. Number one, by actually posting about it, you're going to get people contacting you and saying, hey, maybe you should try it this way. Maybe that'll work. Or two, as you're going through it, you might get a second thought saying, I should have done it this way. And then do a follow-up post showing what you learned. Because I've had people who, my friends who were the police officer and the truck driver who are now DevOps guys, they did a ton of blogging once a week for probably 6 months. So when they went for their first interview, they had their blog on their resume. The person interviewing them had already looked at it and said, you know what, they've done all this stuff. They got practical experience. Now, they may not have a professional job doing DevOps or even IT work, but they've been working through Linux. They've been working through CloudFormation. They've been working through PowerShell. They've been working through DevOps, CI/CD pipelines, typing in YAML code. And as they are creating this blog and doing all this kind of follow-up stuff, and also having a permanent GitHub site out there to post things on, your interviewer is going to look and say, this guy is serious. This girl is serious. They know what they're doing. And even if they're not 100%, they're 80% of the way there. And we love the hustle they've got. And 9 times out of 10, we all know it's not what you know, it's who you know. So I tell everybody to use your LinkedIn profile to connect with people. Connect with folks like you and me. I mean, I will accept an invite from almost anybody. That's how I got my job with Trace 3. I knew people. I became a free agent, and within 48 hours, I had 3 verbal offers and 2 written offers from 3 different companies. And I didn't even put on LinkedIn that I'm looking for work. I just mentioned through friends that I'm a free agent now. And sure enough, and that's why I moved to. I'm a Jersey guy originally, man. I'm a Northeast guy. I mean, born in California, raised in Jersey, and the past 10 years I've been in Louisiana, Maryland, Jersey again, and now in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So I've always chased the work, but I always work in places where there is a good tech sector. I live 5 minutes from the Research Triangle Park. I'm 5 minutes from Chapel Hill, University of North Carolina. I'm 10 minutes from Duke University. The longest I've been through 3 buyouts since I've been down here, and I've been out of work for 3 days max. So to me, it's not just where you live, though. You can live in Kentucky. You can live in, I lived in Baton Rouge, outside Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Outside Baton Rouge, there's nothing but swamp. It's a great area for a college town. It's a great area for tech. But once you leave, I've got friends who live in Northwest Texas. There's not a whole lot out there, but it's who you know, who you connect with. If you see a great trainer or a great YouTuber who you like what they're talking about, feel free to connect. Any trainer, YouTuber, personality worth their salt who really wants to give back will connect with you and will respond. It might take a day or 2 to get back to you because we're busy, but I'll always respond to you. And I know you do the same thing as well on your Discord channel.
Absolutely. I'm not on my Discord 100% of the time, but I try to get back to every single person. But what I've done is surrounded myself with people much like you and other people in the field where I might not have the answer. There's a lot of times I don't, but you know what? I've built a community of people who do have the answer and can help respond. Yep. So these Discord servers and stuff like that are great. And yeah, every single comment on my YouTube channel, I respond to within a day, typically, because I was once, I've told the story on my channel before. I used to work as a bulldozer operator before I got into tech. I worked manufacturing jobs. Right before I got into the tech field, I was a bulldozer operator. And frankly, I was making more as a bulldozer operator than when I started in tech. I was making like 70 grand plus a year, cushy job, nice retirement. But I was bored out of my freaking mind. I'm the type of person that is constantly thinking about something, and sitting in a cab for 12 hours, pushing a stick back and forward as I push wood chips around, just it just didn't cut it for me. And that's really what pushed me to make the change in tech. I took a over $20,000 a year pay cut, but I was pursuing what I loved. I was pursuing the dream. I had to uproot my family. We moved like 2.5 hours away to a town that had more tech opportunities. But if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for making that change and finally deciding I want to pursue my dream, I want to be where I am now, making well over what I was making 3 years ago, 3+ years ago as a bulldozer operator in a cushy retirement job. Like this is a job I plan on retiring from. I'm a director of network operations. That's a huge. This is my dream. I'm doing, and I'm so excited to do it.
You can tell too, man. You really can. I mean, you can see it in your voice. You can see it in your face. That's what you're doing. What you love.
Yeah. I'm doing what I love, and that's why I'm here on YouTube, because it was a YouTube channel, much like mine, that convinced me I can do this, I can make the switch, and it really gave me the motivation, and I want to be that for other people. And I've had people come back and tell me that. I've helped them land their first job in tech and all that, and that's why I want to continue doing.
That's kind of why I started
really
out
appreciate
doing
what
this.
you're
No,
doing.
man, it's kind of why I started doing what I'm doing too, as far as the YouTube channel, as far as giving back as a trainer. I didn't have anybody. I mean, YouTube didn't exist when I was doing IT. Heck, I barely had a cell phone, I think 3 years into my career. You know what I mean? So there was no mentorship. There was no going to look up easily what the answers were. It was all learn on the job, and then go out and buy a $100 book, which when you're 20 years old is tough, and trying to figure this stuff out. And if I can give one piece of advice to anybody, it's reach out for help. Do not be afraid. I don't care if you are the most timid person in the world. Ask us a question. We will work with you. We will help you out. I want to see you succeed, because there's no better feeling than having somebody say, you know what? Hey, I got one the other day from LinkedIn, complete stranger. Hey, if it wasn't for you, Corey, I wouldn't have passed my AZ 104. And that's just a good feeling. We're not getting money from it. We're not doing. We have our day jobs. If we make a small stream of residual income doing YouTube or side training, cool. We're not going to get rich off of that. We're here to do what we do for a day job and help other people do the same thing. I have, like, my friend who was a cop. He made $60,000 a year, all in with overtime, after 15 years on the force. Now he's making $150 a year as a DevOps engineer.
Well, I hope you guys are as excited about the cloud as I am and are eager to go out there and start learning different skills. Remember, there is a lot of free training out there, whether it's on YouTube or the different cloud hosting providers even offer some free training. So definitely go out there, do your research, and try to find the right training material for you. Now, in the final part of this 3-part series, we're talking about skills and tips you can use when interviewing for a position in the cloud. So if you haven't already, make sure and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you receive notifications when that video drops next week. I hope you guys found this video informative, and until next time, take it easy.